Thank you for coming. We see a couple of familiar faces from yesterday, so I hope you got some nuggets yesterday and came back for some more. We want to remind you to just breathe. We are learning with you, and anything we don't know, we'll research and get back to you. We will let you know where to put your questions in just a moment. As tomorrow is day one, we just want to let you know we're here for you and with you. And we are glad you're here for the training, and we hope that it will help. We will provide continued ongoing PD on Canvas throughout the year. We have additional PD for next week, which we'll let you know about as well. We want to wish you a fantastic year. We know there's angst. We know there's excitement, maybe some fear. Some of you who are saying, just help me get through this. And some want to go, 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 and are ready to do that. Everyone's at a different place, and your feelings are valued and validated. We thank you for being with us, and I'm going to turn it back to our fabulous Tech-Tosas.
All right, everyone, welcome. So if our Tech-Tosas can please introduce themselves at this point, we'll go ahead and get started.
Ricardo, one of your Tech-Tosas.
Morning, my name is Gabriel. I'll be one of the Tech-Tosas this year.
Good morning,
Hi, Robert,
Christina Skaggs. I'm going to be one of the Tech-Tosas this year as well.
Should I go again? Robert, Tech-Tosa. Okay.
Thank you. And I'm Teresa, one of your Tech-Tosas as well. So we're so happy to be here with you today. Again, like Dr. C said, this is a replay of yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and just go through some housekeeping, and then we're going to post where you can put your questions and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and share a screen with you, if you don't mind. All right, so some of you might have seen this as you were waiting in the waiting room earlier. So again, welcome back. We know we're gearing up for the kids for tomorrow. Here's our schedule for today. It's going to be the same link. So if you want to stay with us the whole day, you are more than welcome to. If you want to leave and come back, it is the same link. So just come back in anytime. This is our schedule. So we start off with ClassLink this morning, and then Zoom, and then Canvas for the rest of the day, okay? So just some etiquette, just if we can all keep our microphones muted for the entirety of our training. Every once in a while, if we have time, we might do some live Q&A, but please don't unmute yourself unless we let you know, okay? Ask questions on the document that will be posted very soon. And also, it's up to you if you want to keep your video on. And that's usually we ask them to, but it's entirely up to you. But we will mention that as people come into our training, they won't see the link that we post. So we're probably going to post that link a million times. And so don't feel like we're, you know, trying to be redundant, but we just want everyone to be able to see that link. So in our chat, you're going to see it repeatedly posted there. And if you notice in our chat, we've also restricted it just to keep everyone focused. You can chat with us, the host, but you will not be able to chat with everybody, okay? Let me continue. Technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. And that's all of you who are here with us today. So thank you for being here with us today. All right, if you don't know already, we have our HLP YouTube with all of our videos, lots of great information, things that we will go over today. Almost everything, 99% of the things we go over today, we have videos for. So, and we're also recording today's session, so don't be afraid if you didn't get everything, okay? And we also have created as a team this HLPSD useful links. These are all of our videos by category. So this is also a great thing to bookmark, HLPUSD links. Okay, I would bookmark that if I were you. And yes, and so coming soon, we will be having Transformational Mondays where we'll be providing more in-depth trainings to everyone in the district on Mondays that you can come join us for. Today, we're going to be going pretty quickly. So this is not really a training that we're going to stop and give you time to work on it. We have a lot to cover today. So just hold on. We're going to go pretty fast. It will be recorded and we will have more in-depth trainings on other Mondays. So just keep that in mind. I know we got a lot of people saying we're going too fast, but in order to cover everything we have to today, it's kind of like a commercial today. So please hang in there with us. We feel you. But thank you. I know it's going to go really fast. All right, let's go ahead and I'm just going to share with you one last thing. Just bring this in here. Okay, so Christina, I'm not sure if she already posted it, but the questions for today, just make sure you're on the one for August 4. And if yours is not, doesn't say August 4, on the tab on the bottom, because if you go to the other one, that's from yesterday. Okay, so just so that you're aware. All right, and am I missing anything? I don't think so. Okay, let me go ahead and stop sharing. All right, so whoever is going to get us started can begin.
Good morning and Happy New Year. Before we start, I just wanted to kind of just throw this just really quick poll just to get an idea how you're feeling today. So if you give us an idea, just go ahead and click on it and tell us how you're feeling really, really quick, just to get an idea where you are today. And as you're doing this, this is just a feature that you have now with your licensed Zoom account. So you can actually use this with your students if you're maybe trying to check for understanding or maybe just trying to get a feel of the room. So just wanted to kind of do that really, really quick, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start today with ClassLink. And let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. But most of you guys have probably seen this screen. If you are using one of the district devices, the Lenovo's, this is the screen that our devices default to when they open our browser. If our students have taken a device home, this is the first screen they will see after they log in. And ClassLink is basically our Launchpad. It's our single sign-on Launchpad that allows teachers and students to actually access all of our curricular sites and all of our resources via single sign-on. What does that mean? It just means that from now on, by just clicking on an icon, our students are able to get in and be automatically signed on. So if you remember, if you've been with us for a while, you remember prior years where students had, their username at hlpnet.net, and they had like an ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 password that they had to use if they were using McGraw-Hill and Think Central. But if they were using Pearson, now it was a different password with a different username. If they were using Sora, it was completely different. So we're bringing everything together to this Launchpad so everybody has the same experience and everybody has an easier way of signing into everything we have. So if you do not see this screen when you turn on your device, all you have to do is open a new tab and look for HLPUSD ClassLink. Okay, and usually it is the first one that you see. So I'm going to click on my first option, and it's going to take me to the district webpage. And right in here, it's taking a while to load. The district webpage looks a little, they're playing with it right now. They're working on it. But in here in the back, you should be able to see the ClassLink link. We're going to check on this. But when you click on it, it should take you to this screen right here. Okay, I'm not sure why the district is doing, page is doing that. And over here, you have a couple of options. You can log in with your username and password. Your username without the @HLPUSD, just the username and the password that you use to log into the computer. So basically the same thing, okay? And you sign in, and it's going to take you into the Launchpad for our district, okay? So it's going to give you options. So depending on who you are, you might see some buttons that a different site might have and you might not have, okay? But it brings you in here. Just to switch it, I'm going to switch it to teacher view. So in here, you will see that you have Office 365. And if you click on it, you're going to notice that the first time you do this, if you have not installed an extension that you need for ClassLink to remember all of your usernames and passwords, it's not going to work. So it's going to pop up this screen right here. You just say install extension. Just kind of follow the steps. It's going to take you to the Chrome Web Store. You say add to Chrome. And when you do that, you will see that it's going to ask you, do you want to add the extension? You say yes. And this is very, very important because it's going to happen to you if you've never added the extension. And it is definitely going to happen to our students if they've never added the extension. This extension is what allows all of our passwords to be saved in one place and allows for single sign-on. So you do want to add the extension. It's going to open it right on top and say, okay, it's installed. Okay, so now I can close this. So you see, and you notice what it did. It actually opened Office 365, but I'll do it again. So now I click on Office 365, and it's going to automatically take me into Office 365. Now, you can do the same thing if you're teaching with McGraw-Hill. You can click on it, and it's going to automatically log you in. The same thing for Think Central, and this works for our students. The same thing for Zoom or anything in here that has a key, okay? I want to show you how that works really, really quick from the student point of view because they have another option. So let me sign out. So we logged in using our username and password. Now for our little ones from TK to second grade, they also have the option to use QR cards. And it's this little button over here, okay? And Robert's gonna be teaching you how to print those QR cards in a little while. But our students can actually go in here, click, and the first time they do it, it's gonna ask them, is it okay to use the camera? And you wanna say, yes, allowed to use the camera. So when you do that, the camera is going to open, and now you actually have a QR card that Robert's gonna teach you how to print. And if I put it right in front of the camera, notice that it's gonna recognize who that student is, and it's going to log them right in. And you're gonna notice that it did something else too that we'll cover later, but it also opened another tab and it opened Canvas for them and it automatically logged them in. So this is a key, okay? We wanna make sure that the students are using one device and they're using that device, because if we have different little kids using the same device, sometimes ClassLink tends to get confused on which username and password is being used. So make sure that the kids are using a device just for themselves, okay? So this is how we use ClassLink. Again, our kids are gonna have access to all of these different items over here. Again, they did not click on Canvas, it automatically put them in. But if I was to go to McGraw-Hill, just to give you an idea, if I click on it, it's going to use that single sign-on, and it's going to look for that kid account without doing anything, and it's going to automatically log them in, okay? So it's going to do it, and I'm not sure if McGraw-Hill is having problems, so I was thinking that it's me right now, but it should log them in automatically, okay? I'll check that right now, okay? So this is how ClassLink works. We're gonna show you how to use ClassLink for, from the phone tab too. I am having internet connection problems right now, so we might skip the phone part for a second while I set it up in a different way. But we'll go ahead and continue with Robert, I believe, on how to set up those quick cards, okay? And if I can go back to the, oh, here it goes. So actually I can do it. Oh, I'll do it right now. Sorry about that. It seems to be working now. So you will see that the ClassLink app is available on Android and also on iOS devices. And once you see my phone, if it doesn't, otherwise we'll skip this part. Basically what you need to do is once your phone is there, all you gotta do is go to the Play Store. So for you, your app store might look different, but you wanna go to the Play Store. I'm using an Android phone. And in here, you want to look for ClassLink. Okay, and the ClassLink Launchpad is right there. I'm going to click on it, and it's going to ask you to install it. So for me, it's already installed. For you, it will just be a button right here that says install. So you will go ahead and click on that. It's going to install it. Once it installs it, you just want to say open. It's going to open the ClassLink app. Okay, let's dismiss this really quick. And then when it opens it, it's going to take you to the login page for the username and password. If it doesn't, it might ask you to actually just look for your district, just look for Hacienda La Puente, okay? And then over here, I'm going to just type my password, the same thing I use on the desktop. Okay, and I'm ready. I'm going to sign in. And it's basically gonna take me into ClassLink, and it's going to open all of my apps. And then because we have the Canvas auto launch set up, notice that a little one popped up over here. It actually is trying to open Canvas for me, okay? So if you have the actual Canvas mobile app that we are not gonna talk about today, we'll do that at a different time. It will do that for you, but you have all of your different curricular sites and anything that we use in the district available for you on the app too. And I think that's my part, so I'll go ahead and have Robert take over next.
Okay, so next we're gonna kind of go over how ClassLink functions, how to get you those quick cards, how to add links and work with passwords. Let me share my screen. And okay, so here's the ClassLink dashboard, and to find those quick cards, it's actually going to be a icon on the dashboard. So let's see, looks like this is in alphabetical order. Here we go, class quick cards. We're going to click on this icon right here, and it's going to open up your classes. And then you'll see your classes here, and then this button over here on the right side will generate your quick card. So if you select that, you can pick, all your students, or you can just select a few students to print their quick cards. And you could generate it, and it'll show you it on the screen, or you could print them out, to your printer to actually have the physical copy for your students. So, yeah, that's how you do that.
Robert, can you stay there? Can you stay on that screen?
Sure.
So you might notice that for a student right here, there is no quick card. And we've gotten a lot of phone calls from people that are saying, well, I can print all of them except for 2 kids. This is happening because our district or NCS needs to actually resync the site. And if it's happening to you, just send us an email and we'll make sure that NCS resyncs your site so that you are able to print all of the quick cards. So you don't have 1 or 2 students missing. Go ahead, Robert, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, thanks. Okay, so let's see, next. Let's go over kind of how this this looks. So if you see here at the top next to this plus sign, we have this edit mode. And when you select that, then you're gonna have this little drop down bar. And this is where you can kind of change how your ClassLink looks. So you have the theme, which is classic, which is how this looks here. You can get a primary look where the icons are like a little bit bigger. You can go with the professional mode, which has kind of like a side area where you can look at your files and look at data of how the students are using the apps. Let's see here. We can go back. And you can change the app size, to maybe see everything on one screen so you don't have to scroll down, or you can get them like super big. Font style, just pretty much just has the shadow there, or not. I kind of like how that looks. You can see things a little bit better. Your palette is just the color of the top bar here, and the custom wallpaper would be your background here with the clouds. You can select from that. Okay, and then lastly, if you have other sites that you kind of frequently visit, you can add things to your desktop by going up to this little plus and opening up the app library. So when you select that, there's lots of different apps that ClassLink might already be linked with. So you can select those. But let's say you can't find the site that you wanted to visit. So then you're going to go up here to this other plus and hit the add app. And then you can enter in the name of the site. So I'm just going to put test and make up a URL. And then you're going to select the icon that you would want to use for that that site. You might be able to find it if you look it up. Let's see. Oh, where'd it go? It's not letting me search it right now. But anyways, you can find it. You should be able to search it, and then you add the app in there, and it'll be there. And then lastly, most of these apps have a password for them. So it's going to single sign you on. But there's a few that we don't have set up for you, but it's a good resource to have. So like Flipgrid right here has this little key there. But I don't think we've set it up for everyone where when they select it, it's going to single sign them on. So when you select it, it's going to ask you then, for your sign-in information, and then it'll save it for you. So you can enter in that, and then the next time you click on it, it's going to single sign you on. And if for some reason you entered in the wrong password, then you're going to go up to your, profile here under settings. And you can go to your password or the passwords area, and you can edit that password. So the password I did was wrong. Let's delete it, and then then I can re-sign in and enter in the correct password. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you very much.
So I'm going to pick up where he left off and talk a little bit about Backpack. So give me a moment to pull up my screen, and then I'll be able to show you some of those features that are afforded through the Backpack feature in ClassLink. Okay, so from our screen here, and as Robert and Ricardo already pointed out, your screen may look slightly different depending upon your site and what you're using. But I think the beauty is with regards to the backpack feature is a way for us to kind of more personalize it to our individual students or our individual courses. So if you come down to the little icon down below where you see the image, mine says teacher console, but is the backpack. Give it a moment to open up. And what you should see here is your different courses. Now, if you're teaching in a self-contained classroom, you're only going to see the one course that you're responsible for. But if you're a secondary, middle school, high school, you're probably going to see a variety of courses. And really what it allows you to do is customize each individual course. You can already see here that these little individual icons are the applications that have already been pre-designated for your course, which you can change easily by clicking on this course. So for example, let's say it was this class, for example, my math honors class, and I wanted to add a particular application. Just like you did to the homepage like Robert was showing, you can click on apps. And if it's not an app that's already here, you can click add new app. So again, what would be the difference between doing this and what we were doing before? This is tailoring it to my individual classes or courses, whereas before we're tailoring it to kind of our landing page in ClassLink. Now here you can see at the top, they started off kind of coming up with some ideas. That's not fully populated just yet, but you have the easy ability to add, as Robert had shown, any apps that you want. So just by coming up to the upper right hand corner where you see add your own app, you click on that button. And whatever app you may be interested, I'm hoping it's something that you frequent quite often so that would make it meaningful for your students. So being that this is a math course, we might be using Desmos. Now you do need to have the URL. So if you open up a separate tab and search for whatever the web address might be, you can come to the top, simply copy the entire web address. I'm gonna go back to my backpack and I'm gonna paste that URL in there. Now, I saw Robert doing the same, which is, and I fell prey to this, which is looking for the icon. I typed in Desmos, I went the web address, but I don't see necessarily what I'm looking for. You can just in the search window type in anything, and for the most part, it will typically find something that matches whatever you're trying to find. So in this case, this matches exactly what I want. So for my students, when they see that, they know exactly what they're trying to go to. And I would click Add App. So again, what Backpack affords you is the ability to customize more so for your individual courses, whatever external links or sites you might be using that aren't already on the ClassLink homepage. And then the last feature I wanted to touch on, give me a second to go back. Get me stuck there, give me a second, I'm trying to get back here, which is just to go to My Files. And My Files, really what it is an opportunity for us to kind of have a one-stop shop. So we have access a lot of times in our district to our Google accounts. We have options, obviously, with our 365 or our Microsoft accounts. And really that allows you to be able to customize those other little things here so that you could access Google folders or Google files here, as well as 365. So if I come to here where it says, let's see, managed services, we're going to connect the different external services that we want so that we can be able to access files from those alternative places, whether it be Google Drive files or 365 files from inside of ClassLink. That's my part, and I'll go ahead and pass the torch. Give me a second to end my share.
All right, everyone. So I'm going to be going over how you can actually access data from ClassLink. It's pretty amazing, actually. And this also had to be pre-recorded because we didn't have any data for kids right now. So this was recorded a few months ago. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Make sure I do it correctly. Here we go. Hey everyone, this is Teresa Kasher, one of your Tech-Tosas. I'm coming on to show you some great student data that we can grab from ClassLink and Clever to show us how our students are using the links and the resources that we've provided. So I'm on ClassLink right now, and I'm going to click at the very top left, the 3 bars, and there's something called My Analytics. So basic data will be in this section. It tells us about their logins. Go do the chart. records, history, and the great thing is that you can even scroll down and see what browsers they're using. This is very helpful as we help them troubleshoot through some of the apps that they may or may not be able to get onto. You could also change your view from the different types of graphs, whatever you prefer. You could change the date range as well so that you could really zero in and see how much your students are using these apps. Okay, app history also tells us which apps are being used the most and how much time is being spent on them. So that is very basic information. We can get even more information here in the teacher console. So click on that, click on your class. So if you had added apps into your backpack, they would show up here in the apps. But don't worry about that if you haven't added anything, because we can get data in here for apps that are not even in the backpack. It's pure ClassLink usage. So when you click here on logins, you can see how many times and what days your students have logged in. So let's go ahead and choose last week. And you can see all of these students have logged in and the date they had logged in as well. Another great thing that this shows us is time in app. So how much time was used in these apps as well. So I can click on that and then it tells me even what apps were being used at that time. So maybe I'm seeing this student use this app for quite a bit of time. I wonder what app it is. Oh, here we go. It tells me what apps were being used. So this is great information so that we know which students we need to reach out to, and we also can monitor that our students are using the apps that we want them to go to. Okay, so that is a lot of great information in here, but I know a lot of you are starting to use Clever. All right, so that is our information. That's how to get analytics on ClassLink. And I know there are also analytics in Canvas, which we'll kind of touch upon later as well. But I know a lot of the students are going to be accessing our curricular sites at the moment. They're going to be accessing them through ClassLink. So that's a great way to monitor how much time they're spending in our curricular sites.